going? My name is Christopher McGee. I am the owner of Halcyon Real Estate. I'm affiliated with the Keller Williams Marketplace in Salt Lake City. Today is May 8th, 2023, and this is the real estate numbers. Every week I'm pulling 7 specific numbers off the MLS and sharing them with you here so that you have the unadulterated information that I have access to as a realtor. I'll give you my take on what all these numbers mean, but I do want you to have access to the unfiltered data so that you can make the decisions with that as you will. Also, real quick before we get into these numbers, if you want a breakdown of what all the numbers mean specifically and individually and what it looks like if they all stack up for buyers or if they all stack up for sellers and what each number might mean for you if you're a buyer or a seller, if the number is up or down, then you can just check out my real estate numbers explained video, just right up there flagged in the top right of the screen. Go ahead and check that out so you can be solid on all of that. All right, so let's look at this last week's numbers. I'll point out whether a number is up or down from the previous week, and I'll point out if we're seeing any trends. Let's do this. All right, first our inventory. The number of current actives that we have on the market sits at 6,763. That is up about 150 from the previous week, and that is now trending up solidly for the last month. Right now, our average days on market is sitting at 48. That's up just a couple of days on average from what it was last week, but still looking at a downward trend. For our third number, we're always looking at the difference between two numbers. We're looking at the difference between what the average list price of homes are right now and what the average sold price of homes are right now. So right now, our average list price as of just last week on average was $596,334. Our average sold price was $588,544. So the difference between those two numbers is 7,790 in the buyer's favor. That's a little bit further away from zero than we were at last week, but we're still in the 7,000 range, and that is still better, or closer to zero, I should say, than we've been since the whole time that I've been doing this video series. The number of homes sold in the last week was 554. That is down about 16 from the previous week, so not a big drop, but a bit of a drop. And it's still up in the 500s and above 550. So that number is still trending up, I'd say, over the last few months. It did touch back from last week just a bit. Our number of homes currently under contract sits at 5,204. That is down just a bit from what we had last week, but still on an overall upward trend across the last few months. The number of price reductions that sellers made to their homes last week was 687. It happened 687 times, I should say. So that is up a bit from the previous week, and that is on a trend up since the beginning of April. It's still nothing like what we were seeing at the beginning of the year or at the end of last year, but it is on a bit of a trend up. And finally, the number of listing contracts that were either canceled or expired or withdrawn from the MLS in the last week, that happened 287 times. All three of those things combined, 287 times. That is down about 80 from the previous week, and really just sitting nice and low there, suggesting that sellers still have plenty of confidence in their ability to get what they want from selling their home. All right, so last week I said that if we had one more week of rising inventory, I'd call it a solid trend. And here we are. We now have a solid trend of rising inventory, and we like it, and we hope that it keeps up. Because when that number of homes available on the market has that downward pressure, that's what inspires that upward inflation of home values. While you want your home to appreciate in value, we don't want another year like 2021 where it jumped up 27%. And home values rose almost a third again over what they started the year with. So we like our current trend of rising inventory. Other than that, everything has really cooled just a touch from the direction it's been trending. Days on market up just a bit, but not as high as it's been. The difference between average list price to average sold price, just a touch further away from zero, but still not bad. Homes sold down, but still in the 500s. Under contract down, but still in the 5,200s. The number of price reductions up, but by less than 50. Really all of it just a touch in the buyer's favor this last week, and that honestly puts us in a good balance right now. Really, it's a great time to sell as well. We had a downshift into more of a buyer's market. The market shifted in that direction over the year 2022, but it's not as though your home value disappeared. Your home has still been appreciating in value, just not 27% in the course of a year like it did in 2021. And that was a necessary yet uncomfortable market correction, just needed to happen. But there's more buyers out there right now. Mortgage rates have cooled from the highs that they were at the end of 2022. And really the writing is on the wall with the data that I'm giving you here. It's a good time to sell, it's a good time to buy, right? I know there's always doomsday foreclosure forecasters out there, but they're just clearly not reading the data. They've got hypothetical situations that they are sure are about to be looming around the corner, but they've been talking about that for decades and it doesn't really crash. We're not sitting on the edge of the precipice of a foreclosure market. The numbers would look dramatically different. Aside from the numbers that I give you here that I pull from the MLS, the number of mortgage applications continues to come up. The number of delinquencies on house payments is information that I have access to. It's just not on the MLS. And those delinquent payments come in the form of 30-day delinquent, 60-day delinquent, and 90-day delinquent notices. They are at their lowest points ever. So you have the data right here, and don't forget when you're hearing national news about whatever the housing market looks like, don't forget, if you're looking at Utah, it's not quite the same. You need local data and local forecasting for what's happening where you are looking to sell or buy a home. All right, guys, that is it this week. If you know somebody, or if you are somebody who is looking to buy or sell a home in the coming months or this year, feel free to reach out to me at 801-834-9713, or you could just email me, whatever's better for you, christopher.mcgee@kw.com. And as always, if you want to stay educated on the Utah real estate market, there's just not going to be a better way than to hit that subscribe button on the top left of your screen and get these weekly updates of the numbers. See you next week.